Do you know what's common in all of these? They were all shot on film, or at least processed on film. You see, the titles we see today are mostly captured with digital cameras like the RELX and Mini LF or the Red Komodo, but most blockbusters, once the shooting is done, the finished clips then just go through a so-called film out process, which means taking the digitally recorded clips and printing them onto a 35 or a 70mm film, mostly the Vision 3 from Kodak. So when DEHANCER reached out to me to review their product, I was really happy to do so because I just felt that might be just the last bit of grit and texture that I need. Disclaimer, I was never paid to do this review. It is my honest feedback, but DEHANCER did provide me with a copy of the plugin, so keep that in mind. Now, before we even jump into the review, I really want to give credit to DEHANCER for their ultimate collection of knowledge that they have on their website. To be fair, even if they never made a product, just the amount of knowledge that you get on their website, documentations, articles, you name it, is such a valuable collection of information that in itself is worth giving it a look. So first and foremost, let's start with what DEHANCER is. DEHANCER is a film emulation plugin for Davinci Resolve, Premiere, Final Cut, you name it. It's not a lot collection, it's a film emulation plugin. DEHANCER offers a great variety of tools at your fingertips whenever you need it. It has a vast library of film stocks, prints, also effects like bloom, halation, vignette, overscan, film grain, and it has a huge collection of print development tools or film emulation tools that allow you to get your footage exactly where you want it to be. When you first load up DEHANCER, it might seem something super complicated and you might be daunted by the millions of knobs and menus that are available at your fingertips, but to be fair, think of this as a toolbox. You're not necessarily going to use every single tool for every single clip, but it's right there. When you need it, you just turn it on and boom, your image comes alive. Now this is something extremely cool. Although DaVinci has a lot of built-in plugins, and what DEHANCER has done, they have studied various looks and properties of actual film stocks to come to the result that we have today. Alright, so let's just jump right in. Opening up Davinci Resolve, one of the clips that I wanted to work on when I tried DEHANCER was using an Inspire 3 clip. Inspire 3 is really difficult to import and manage in Davinci Resolve because it's Cinema DNG 12-bit RAW. Getting that footage into Resolve, it has its own challenges, but again, it offers a lot of opportunities. So this is the raw footage. Well, it doesn't look that good, I guess. And that's because if you go into the camera raw settings, you gotta tweak a little bit of the settings first. I went into the camera raw settings. I've adjusted a little bit the exposure settings, the shadow and the highlights, just like I would if I was to do it in camera. But given that this is raw, you can do it after shooting in post. This is not an option that you get if you fly the Mavic 3 or a Mavic Mini, but the Inspire 3 is a professional flying camera drone with very good codecs and Cinema DNG. Alright, so what I did is obviously after the conversion I've added a little bit of a custom curve basically to bring out a lot more of those contrasts, and I think ever so slightly, well, not so slightly, I've raised the shadows, but apart from that I haven't done anything else to the footage. And then I've added DEHANCER. Now on this one I was really going for that Dune vibe. In fact, when I saw the footage, it reminded me, the harsh sun flying against the sun reminded me of, you know, those deserty Dune vibes. I know this is not a desert, it's actually a full wetland, and even the grass is green, but you know, I wanted to get that look, and well, and I mean, looking at it, I think I nailed it pretty much. Ever so slightly, I think there is still a little bit more of a reddish tint in the shadows, but that's pretty much what I could get out of this footage, and I'm really happy with it. Quickly on what I've done. As I mentioned, since the input was done outside of DEHANCER, here I've just used, Davinci Resolve white gamut. I haven't touched anything of the exposure settings. In terms of the film stock, I used the 50D. I could have gone with the 250D as well, but that gave me a little bit more of a saturated yellow look, and I was looking for that, quite a dialed down, softer look. Let me switch this off. I pulled the image a lot. In terms of film development, I've adjusted a lot of that to give me that contrast and that pop. In terms of film compression, it's very subtle. If I turn it off, you see barely, but you see the highlights here moving. In terms of expand, I really played around with the black and the white points to get the footage where I wanted it to be. Just a little bit more pop. But the biggest one, I think, was the print, the Kodak 2383 print, which is, I think, actually the print that was used in June. You see, as soon as I turn that on, it just gives that very, very soft look, and it brings out the sky here. If you look at it, you can see the sky and the clouds, whereas if I turn it off, it's a lot more softer. All right. Then, as a last step, I played around with the color head. I've adjusted a little bit of the hues for, pushed it a little bit towards the yellow, slightly towards magenta, and slightly towards the cyan. And I've actually pushed the shadows and the midtones and the highlights to give me that look. If I just turn this off, as you can see, it just gives that deserty vibe a little bit more. In terms of film grain, I haven't added any film grain on this one because I think I wanted to keep the sharp and the modern look, so I didn't look for the grain in this shot, and no halation was added because I felt like it was already a lot more reddish than the sample that I was going after, right? But I did use bloom, and a lot of bloom actually. If you look at it, let me turn off the June reference. So a lot of halation was added. A lot of bloom was added, just to soften up that highlighted area in the lakes. And well, that's pretty much it. I think the shot speaks for itself. It's a beautiful shot. I love it. Thank you, DEHANCER. This was really, really amazing. I think if we look at it, I'm pretty happy with the shot. Pretty much. I would say the shadows, the black points, I mean, obviously I have a lot more highlight because I have the sun visible in the shot, but if I were to zoom in or reframe the shot, getting the sun itself out, probably I would be reaching around the same highlights. The shadows are there. The details and the color palette is very much similar. Again, this is a wetland shot, that's a desert shot. This was done with an Inspire 3, whereas the other one was done with an Ariel XM Mini. As close as I could get it, but I'm very happy with the result. Alright, so my final thoughts on DEHANCER. I think this is a truly amazing plugin, definitely worth taking a look at. Just the amount of film profiles and prints that you have, plus the halation and bloom effects, give it, an ultimate value. But if you're in the market for something that elevates your footage and brings it to that cinematic look, then DEHANCER is definitely something you want to check out. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and best of all, if you want to buy this plugin, DEHANCER was kind enough to give me a promo code. You can just go to the shopping list, enter the promo code RCWolf at checkout, tell them I sent you, and you get a 10% discount. It's an affiliate link. I get a little commission, and that really helps. Now, I haven't covered everything since DEHANCER has a huge library of tools, and just going through all of them would take me about hours. So be sure to expect some more videos on DEHANCER as a topic. I really love their products, so I'll sure be giving some more tips and tricks down the line. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more.